Okay, today's group stages begin with New Zealand against Slovakia. Clearly one of the most highly anticipated games of the entire tournament. Phil, how do you think this one's going to play out?
I think Slovakia are going to take this quite easily, probably about 3-0. Marek Hamsik in midfield is going to pull the strings, plays for Napoli, he's wanted by all the clubs in Europe. Hopefully he'll feed Sestak up front. He's a top goal scorer in qualifying, he had 6 goals. And I think New Zealand, even though they're an okay team, there's some okay players in there, like Ryan Nelson, Blackburn.
Let's not damn them with faint praise here, you know.
Yeah, but they got Roy Fan up front, play for Plymouth, not the greatest player. So when you've got Marek Hamsik, one of the best midfielders in Europe, especially up and coming midfielders, then I don't think New Zealand stand a chance, and 3-0 looks good to me.
I don't think anyone's really expecting much from New Zealand.
No, I don't think they are. I mean, it's their second finals appearance, and probably going to finish bottom of the group.
So it could be a hatful of goals for Slovakia, which is good news for me because I've actually got some money on them.
Your money's safe there, Steve.
Great, that's what I like to hear. One of the perhaps more exciting games of the day, Ivory Coast are playing Portugal.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game, but Ivory Coast, they'll be missing Didier Drogba.
Is that definite? He's definitely out. Yeah.
I think they won't risk it in the first game. You don't want to risk a star player.
Even against Portugal, who are one of the possible.
Yeah, I just don't think he's fit enough yet. He had surgery on that fractured elbow that he sustained against Japan, and it might just be too soon. But it's World Cup; they might risk him, and they've only got 3 games, and when the next game is against Brazil, they might be out by the third game. So he could be playing. They still got talent. Emmanuel Boué, the Touré brothers rather, and you got Didier Zakora in the field. So not a bad team, but Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo. How can you count out a team that's got such a player like that?
Is it a problem that Ronaldo wasn't scoring in the qualifying rounds?
It could be a problem, but they still have some talent there. They got Simao on the wings. They've got Lee Edson up front, but the problem with Lee Edson, he's not a great striker. He's good in Portugal, but when he's played in Europe, he hasn't shown quite that lethal touch. But as Portugal have shown, they can make the semi-finals of tournaments, they can make the quarter-finals of the World Cup. So I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think Portugal maybe just have a bit, because they got a good defence as well. They got Ricardo Carvalho, they got Bruno Alves. So I just think they'll have just a bit too much for Ivory Coast.
So what do you think? Do you think Eriksen's experience, the manager of the Ivory Coast, could that play a role?
No, the Ivory Coast, the problem with them is that they're not really a team. They've got great players, but they don't seem to play well together. And African Cup of Nations is a perfect example. Because
that actually sounds like the England team, which Eriksen used to manage.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably the same problem here. And they haven't won the African Cup of Nations since I think it's '88.
Right.
And when they've got so much talent in the team, it's pretty disappointing. They were the favourites for 2 years running in the tournament.
Sure.
Haven't won it, so I don't think they'll get through here. I think it'll be Portugal and Brazil.
Okay then, moving on, we've got one of the favourites against one of the minnows of the tournament, Brazil playing against North Korea, a team very little is known.
Yeah, the only thing I know about them is Kim Yong-won, who was registered as a third goalkeeper, but really is a striker. So North Korea tried to go 2 strikers and the rest of the outfield.
Sneaky North Koreans.
FIFA didn't allow it, so if he is going to play, he's going to play in goal, which means he's not going to play at all because he's not goalkeeper. Brazil, anything less than 3-0 victory here is going to be disaster back home.
So is there no way that the North Koreans could be a dark horse at the tournament?
I don't think so, unless they've been bred genetically to be superhuman footballers, but I don't think so.
Some kind of Team America.
Yeah. You're looking at Brazil team and you've got Kaká, you've got Robinho, Luis Fabiano, and it's just too much talent for the North Korean team. Anything less than 3-0 is going to be an absolute disaster, I reckon.
Okay, and is this Brazilian team up there with the greats of Brazil's history?
No, it's not. They're a bit more workmanlike. They're not the flair team, but is
that Dunga's input?
Yeah, that is. But whatever brings the World Cup home, no one's going to complain. So they've got the attacking flair up front. They've got good players in midfield that can hold the ball.
Sure.
And they've got Lucio in defence. They've got a world-class keeper, Julio Cesar, who has been a doubt, but looks like he's going to start. They've got best right back in the world. So I think Brazil are looking good to win the tournament.
Okay, that's good news for me again because I've got money on them yet again. Okay, I guess that wraps it up.